not freeze. I will examine the budget. I know that there's at least 10 separate budgets in the budget. I'll talk with department heads, elected officials, about ways to save money. I'll talk to officials in other counties about how they do things or changes they have made that may have saved them money. Freeze wages? No, can't say that. I've had quite a number of employees in my career, and I believe in paying a fair wage. You get what you pay for. You pay minimum wage, you get minimum work. You have to pay employees a fair wage. I cannot make any broad statement on giving raises or freezes. I do know that the county payroll is more than $2.5 million. And that includes about 125 employees. And I have already publicly, in a letter, which was mailed out and left in business places, suggested that we decrease commissioner salaries. As I stated in there, commissioners no longer supervise people or maintain equipment. They don't have an 8-hour-a-day job, and I think they can afford to cut their salaries. By what amount? I'm not sure yet, but at least half. I know at this time the county clerk needs extra help to handle records with oil activities, so you can't say freeze, don't hire. If you need help, you have to have it. So whatever the needs are, they have to be met. County finances probably cannot be straightened out in 1 year or even 2, but we definitely need to control spending. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Mr. Bean.
Well, I've been at a conference in College Station all week for county judges and county commissioners. And when I got my phone call with these questions and it says, will you freeze spending? I thought freeze is a pretty stout word. The budget sessions are coming up. We're going to start working on that in a couple months here. Every department head comes with their needs and wants, and it's the job of the commissioners and the county judge to go through these items and decide. I learned this morning. The county commissioner has the last say of practically everything as far as what goes on in the courthouse. So it's going to be on one of our shoulders to make that hard decision on where we have to cut and what we have to do to have our balanced budget. But to say we're going to freeze something, I can't say that. I know our employees in the county didn't get no raise last year. It's hard to have good people work for you and keep working for you without paying them. You can't ask somebody to do that. You can't ask the deputy to run up and down these wet roads and put his life on the line for not a decent wage. So freeze, no. I won't say that. I just won't. We'll work it out in the budget. It's the best I can tell you.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Mr. Jude.
Yes and no. We need to go out there as far as hiring people. We need to work with what we have right now. We cannot afford to go out there and get more people, put more people on salary for the money that's coming in. Wages, yes, we have to look at and see, but we do need to control all of this. It's hard to make a decision and say, hey, listen, we're going to do it, and say it's going to be fine for everybody. It's not for everybody. Like I say, we just got to look at it and see. And that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Jude. Mr. Burris.
A lot wrapped up in that one. Will I freeze spending? You can't freeze spending entirely. I mean, that just can't happen. What you can do is you can bet that when I'm elected that I will vote no on negligent spending money that don't need to be spent. Freezing wages, if you got somebody hired and they're working, then they get paid. You can lower wages, like I'm going to lower my wages to donate it somewhere else. freeze hiring. If there's a job that needs to be done and we need to hire somebody to do that job, by all means hire. But don't create a make-believe position like hiring a on-site supervisor for this annex building. You know, that right there, I would vote no. You don't, I mean, it's a lot to say freeze, but you got to look at the circumstances of what you're, I mean, this touches on a lot of things, but hiring, wages, and the spending, I mean, there's a lot to that. And you got to go according to what your budget gives you and not overreach and try to finance your way and swipe that card and go get a loan to finance something that we, the taxpayers, eventually going to have to pay back and then some and pay for the interest. You don't do that. If it ain't in the budget, don't do it.
Thanks, sir. Okay, the next question. The Commissioner Court was asked to reduce their salaries and benefits because their true time for county business has been greatly reduced to about 80 hours each year. If they were to reduce their salaries by 50%, they would still be receiving $300 an hour. With this savings, we could pay 5 miles of road. So do you feel that the commissioners are being fair to the taxpayers? Mr. Beaver.
That gets back to when I said a while ago I would cut the commissioner's salary. I agree with that. Commissioner's salary could be cut since we got the new road and bridge administrative position. And yes, I think that needs to be done. I mean, we can get a lot more paved roads here around here and take care of a lot more things in the courthouse.
Thank you, Mr. Beaver. Mr. Janacek.
Repeat the question, please.
The Commissioners Court was asked to reduce their salaries and benefits because their true time for county business has been greatly reduced to about 80 hours each year. If they were to reduce their salaries by 50%, they would still be receiving $300 per hour. With this savings, we could pay 5 miles of road. Do you feel that the commissioners are being fair to the taxpayers?
There are 14 things that the commissioners were made to do. One of them was road and bridge, but that's been taken over by Jeff Yotrick and his department there. But the other 13 things we are all responsible for. As far as lowering my salary, I already said in my opening statement that I will be working to do that. These are all very important things that we need to take into consideration, and all that money can be used for something else to help other people out and to help the county. We're all need to work together to get all this stuff taken care of. Thank you.